Welcome back to the vlog. We are 1 week in from taking Mounjaro, and here are the results for the week. So this week we are down 3.15 kilograms, 2.6 cm in our waist, and 2.5 cm in our hips, which is quite crazy in my opinion. So when we started, especially first week, right, I thought I would have been happy with half a kg, hopefully 1 kg, and best case 2 kg. Yeah, and when I weighed myself this morning and I saw that it was more than 3 kg, I also don't believe, honestly. So I weighed in the morning and then I weighed myself again in the evening before dinner, and it said the same thing. So I was like, okay, maybe the scale got a problem. But I guess we will just see how it goes for week 2. I don't think it can continue at 3 kg, because 3 kg is more than 2% body weight, which is like unhealthy almost, right? So we'll see how it goes, and I'll be here again next week. I'll let you guys know. Okay, so how the week went. The week started with my doctor's appointment for Mounjaro, and the first thing that I did was, after registering and giving them my details, they took my weight, my measurements, with one of those weighing scales that takes your body composition as well, with the handle and all that, right? So after that, I spoke to the doctor. He told me what the drug was. How can you be eligible for the drug? Which basically is you have to be above a BMI of 30. And then he asked if I had any questions. And my main question was, okay, how do I try to minimize the side effects, the negative side effects, like nausea, like bloatedness, that kind of thing. And he said there's nothing much you can do. He said that he's on the drug as well, and he was saying the first day he took it, he went to eat mala after taking it. So I was like, okay. The only thing was to not take any alcohol, which is consistent with what I read up on before deciding to get Mounjaro. That was one. The next thing that I think was quite important is that you have to maintain your dosage, right? So the max dosage for Mounjaro is 15 milligrams, and is in increments of 2.5. So you start at 2.5 milligrams, and then you're supposed to dose up, right? But from everything that I've read, from everything that I've watched, you don't have to dose up to 15. The reason why you dose up is because, you start at 2.5. The reason why you dose up to 2.5 milligrams more, is when the effect starts to not be so strong. And in my head, I was like, okay, I'm probably going to try and stay at 2.5 for as long as possible, because also a lot of comments on other videos and things like that about Mounjaro is that, as long as you're losing weight, as long as you can feel the effects, then just stay at the current dose. Don't dose up. And a lot of people say that when they do dose up, they start to get much stronger side effects, right? So for me, I was like, okay, I'll try to stay at 2.5. I'll try to stay at 2.5 for at least 4 weeks, and that was the plan. And so we'll see how it goes, right? And the last thing that I think was pretty nice was that they gave me the pen to bring home. So this is the actual pen with 40 milligrams of Mounjaro. And it's nice because I was thinking if I have to go get weekly doses from the clinic, it's quite troublesome lah, right? Uh, and you have to, and because it's, so you have to do it, like I had it on Tuesday, you have to have it every Tuesday. So, which means I can't schedule anything else for Tuesday except going to the clinic lah. So, but because they let me bring the pen, or rather they give you the pen and the needles and things like that. So that's good. That's great. Yeah. So that was pretty much it for the doctor's appointment. Um, there was one thing I wanted to talk about, right? And it's one thing like, so over the week, during the week, there were, I had a few people who knew that I was on Mounjaro ask me, so how is it, right? Like what happens? What happens when you take Mounjaro? And the easiest way for me to put it is no appetite. No hunger, no appetite. But I also didn't want to say that because to me at least, no appetite sounds very negative. Very like, oh, I'm sick, I have fever, food poisoning, I got no appetite. But I think there's a difference, right? So if you watch any videos on Mounjaro by whichever content creator, this term food noise comes up very often, right? Food noise and food drive. And after being on the drug, I completely understand what that means. But if you haven't been on the drug, then then you might not get it, right? Or you're just like, oh, then I just don't feel like eating. Kinda, yeah. But to me, it's even better than that, right? So I was thinking of, okay, how do I describe it? How do I explain it? So that more people can get it, can understand what we're trying to say when we say food noise. And the best way that I've come up with is if you're somebody who struggles with food, and the struggle can be very big, can be very, very small. So very big in the sense of like, I know fast food is not good for me. I know junk food, potato chips, is not good for me. But it's so nice, so I really want to eat, right? And then so there's this constant fight, right? Between the part of you that's like, okay, I want to be healthy, I want to lose weight, and then like, oh, but it tastes so good, right? Or things like, I'm watching some K-drama and I'm gonna be sad and cry, and I eat when I get sad. Let's look at what's available for delivery. Then you open your phone, then you check. And then right before you order, you're like, I shouldn't eat. Never mind, just eat, right? So if you ever had that urge, right, in your brain that makes you just want to eat stuff, and then like a white noise machine, when you take Mounjaro, you just turn off that white noise machine, and it's so quiet, and it's so peaceful, you know. If you guys have ever been to, if you live in a city, right, like Singapore, right, and then you go to another country with a countryside, the countryside of another country, right, and it's so peaceful and it's so silent, and that's how it feels, and it's so good, so good. I don't know how I lost 3 kg, and during certain points in the week, I was like, okay, is this the drug just actually turning off my appetite, or is it me knowing that I'm on a drug that's supposed to turn off my appetite, so I don't have appetite? Is it actual the effects, or is it like some sort of like placebo effect, right? And but especially day two, so day one, because I had the shot in the afternoon, I think around 3 o'clock. So and I still had my dinner after that, right, on day one. So but day two, day 2 and 3 and 4 actually, my goodness, it was so quiet. So like no food noise, no food drive. To the point where I was, because I gym, right? So I to the point where I was like, okay, I need to get more protein. I need to get more food in me. If not, I don't have energy for all these things. And that's, I don't know. It's almost indescribable. But if you ever if you do have if you have had issues with food, and for me it's like it's a white noise machine that was on for 38 years, and then you turn it off and it's like, my, it's great. So I was so looking forward to getting to dosing to getting my second dose this week. So, and speaking about that, so the first 4 days were really good. First 3 days especially. The first 3 days were so quiet, so nice. I just went about my day, went to the gym, I came home, I did my cardio, I watched my Netflix, and then I just went to sleep. And that was it. Day 5, on the 5th day, the hunger started to come back a little bit. Middle of the day, late morning, I started to feel a bit hungry. Like stomach started growling and things like that. And then, yeah, then all the usual thoughts that you have when, oh, it's coming to dinner, what am I going to eat later? Or like you're at a coffee shop where you're at like a food court, and you're like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's also nice. How about I order both? I think maybe it's just me, but yeah. So I struggle with things like that, and then that's when it started to come back, right? Day 5, 6, day 7. By the time it was day 7, yes, I was getting hungry. Yes, I was like, my dinner, when I prepared my dinner, I was like, okay, how about I just add a bit more stuff, and then things like that. So yeah, that was pretty much how the week went. My next thing, my next concern would be, moving forward, would be dosing, right? So this pen contains 40 milligrams, and if I stay on 2.5 milligrams, that's basically 16 weeks. According to the doctor, because of my size, most likely I will have to dose up. And oh yeah, the recommendation by the doctor was to do 2 weeks on 2.5 milligrams, 2 weeks on 5, 2 weeks on 7.5, and then 10 after that. So basically, you dose up every 2 weeks, right? But I don't think I'm gonna stick to that, because I want to. Honestly, I want to get the most bang for my buck, right? If I'm losing 3 kg a week on 2.5 milligrams, I wouldn't go up to 5. What, go up to 5 and lose 5 kg a week? I mean, that's crazy. That's unhealthy. Yeah. So see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble on for however long this video is. And yeah, if you are thinking of taking Mounjaro, if you have any struggles with weight or exercise or anything like that, reach out, leave a comment. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.